Last night, these are some of the lightning strikes as they rolled through Oldham County.
Right, the storms packed a punch. They knocked out power to hundreds of our viewers, and as of this morning, there are less than 350 now LG&E customers in Jefferson and Oldham counties without power, down, of course, from the last hour.
Louisville emergency officials say no injuries were reported despite the outages and flash flooding. WHAS11's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Jessica Farley saw some of that flooding up close.
Some Lake Forest residents are now left stranded after heavy rainfall. If you take a look behind me, you can see that 2 vehicles are partially submerged and 1 car is completely underwater.
Turn around, don't drown.
That's the best advice for everyone driving in Tuesday's rainfall. From flooded streets on Evergreen Road in Anchorage to 3 cars being stuck in water on what were roads before the heavy rain hit the Lake Forest neighborhood.
I thought it was kind of cool. I only saw the two at first. But I think the blue car is the craziest because they're almost fully submerged.
Even with road may flood signs posted, residents still took the risk and got caught in the heavy rain, unable to turn around to avoid being stuck. But Lake Forest resident Stephen Weinstein says it's not unusual for this to happen in the neighborhood.
I mean, it happens yearly, but when it does happen, I think it's kind of fun to see the cars and how people damage their cars and get stuck. I think it's kind of funny.
Just around the corner in front of Gregory Mefford's house, his neighbor's car got stuck, surrounded by water that inundated the street. Mefford's wife recorded this scene outside her window as it happened.
By the time I got back over here by this car, it was starting to pond a little bit. And by the time I got in this driveway and went upstairs, it was all the way into the car.
Mefford is a former meteorologist with the National Weather Service, and he says he took 3 steps out of his car and he was drenched.
I think we probably got somewhere between 4 inches or so in about 45 minutes. So that's about an inch every 10 minutes.
Near Middletown, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 on your side.
To Campbellsville now, just south of Louisville, where that large tree fell over and blocked entirely a residential street. The public works teams had to bring in some heavy equipment to get that out of the way. Just a few miles from there, the storm knocked over another tree, and that one barely missed that house, and you can see where it ended up right there in those power lines. It's always a good reminder when these kinds of storms roll through to make sure you have that WHAS 11 news app. Download it to your phone. It is free wherever you get your apps. We push critical weather alerts as soon as they're issued.
Some more local news now. This morning, a man is behind bars after police say he attempted to kill an LMPD officer. Davion Cromartie was arrested Friday. According to his arrest report, his girlfriend called police after he refused to leave her apartment in Old Louisville at 3rd and West Hill Streets. Police say he fought back when they tried to handcuff him. They also say he was able to wrap his legs around the officer's neck and put him in a chokehold. When a second officer tried to help, the report says Cromartie's girlfriend jumped on the officer and tried to disarm her. Officers say Cromartie also tried to take the officer's gun. Both were able to free themselves. Cromartie ran off. He was arrested not long after and is expected in court on Monday.
Metro Police believe they've solved a double murder case from last year. A spokesperson for the LMPD told us they've arrested and charged the man with double murder. The suspect is an adult now, but when the shooting happened in June of 2022, he was a teenager, which is why his name has not been released. Police say he killed 40-year-old Stephen Curtis and 21-year-old Gary Brown Jr. near the Oxmoor Center. Police say DNA, digital evidence, and surveillance video led them to that suspect.
Attorney General Daniel Cameron will announce his running mate in the race for Kentucky governor today. The Republican is expected to give the details at an event in Frankfort this morning. After it's revealed, Cameron's campaign says he and the running mate will make stops throughout Kentucky. We'll bring you the details following the announcement at 9:30. Governor Andy Beshear is once again teaming up with Jacqueline Coleman as his lieutenant governor. Coleman filed for re-election as lieutenant governor on Tuesday at the state capitol. With a background as a high school teacher, she also served as the Education and Labor Cabinet Secretary until 2021.
With the threat of a UPS strike quickly approaching, employees were on the practice picket line again Tuesday morning.
This company's harassment of employees blows.
There were 2 rallies yesterday. One was at the Louisville Centennial Hub. The other was at UPS Worldport. Teamsters officials say they're still negotiating. One point still being worked out is pay for part-time employees.
He said, well, we just don't have any more money to give. Well, UPS is a very rich and prosperous company. They got plenty of money, and the reason why they have that money is because of the work off our members' backs.
It's just really frustrating because I am a part-timer. Yes, I have a second job, absolutely, you know. Of course, I'm here for the benefits, a lot of us are. But I still bring some numbers to the table, and I have integrity.
UPS issued a statement Tuesday saying there's been steady progress with the Teamsters on multiple issues. The company acknowledged the rally and said it expects to reach an agreement before the contract runs out at the end of the month. Now, a UPS strike would have an effect on almost all of us in some way, especially local small businesses like the Seafood Lady. The owner there said a halt in shipments would be detrimental for a menu so dependent on seafood that must be shipped from out of state.
Right now, we rely on UPS for about 40% of our products. We get in our oysters, our lobsters, and our crawfish fresh. We get that in daily, so if we can't get that in daily, it's going to cause a lot of problems for us.
Yeah, the restaurant industry relies heavily here on UPS. Meanwhile, hospitals like Norton Healthcare, which supplies vaccines, say there are contingency plans in place if UPS and its unions do not come to terms on a deal by July's end.
After months of repairs, the Oldham County YMCA has fully reopened. You might remember the building suffered significant fire damage in February. The YMCA said the fire damage in the cycling studio and water damage in the gym, locker rooms, and hallways. The facility reopened a few weeks after the fire, but repairs continued up until this week. Officials believe the fire started in a chicken coop outside and spread to the building. No one was seriously hurt.